This is a video of how James M. Logan went from a humble laborer to a Medal of Honor recipient and a hero. I hope that you enjoy. James Marion Logan, son of C.M. and Maggie Williams Logan, was born at McNeil near Lulling in Caldwell County, Texas, on December 19, 1920. While growing up in rural Texas during the Great Depression, Logan worked as a laborer for $15 a week. In order to supplement his income, Logan joined the Texas National Guard in 1936 at the age of 15. He was a recipient of the United States military's highest decoration, the Medal of Honor, as well as various other achievements for his actions in World War II. His military history. He enlisted in Company L Lulling Guard and remained with the unit until he was mustered into federal service. On November 25, 1940, the 36th Infantry was mobilized into the United States Army at Camp Bowie, Texas. Logan served as a rifleman in the 1st Platoon Company 1, 3rd Battalion, 101st Infantry Regiment, 36th Infantry Division, Texas National Guard, 5th Army. After spending a great deal of time training and running maneuvers in the United States, the 36th Infantry set sail for Oran, Algeria, on April 2, 1943. Once in North Africa, the 36th was held in reserve and then later stationed near Rabat and Casablanca. The 36th was then put through training at the Army's Invasion Training Center on the Mediterranean on Azov, where they were prepared for their first action with the invasion of Salerno, Italy. On September 3rd, 8th Army 13th Corps crossed the Straits of Messina and commenced landings at various points in Calabria. Meeting light Italian oppositions, Montgomery's men had little trouble coming ashore and began forming to move north, though they encountered some German resistance. The greatest impediment to their advance came in the form of demolished bridges, mines, and roadblocks. Due to the rugged nature of the terrain, which held British forces to the roads, Montgomery's speed became dependent on the rate at which his engineers could clear obstacles. On September 8th, the Allies announced that Italy had formally surrendered. In response, the Germans initiated Operation Uxa, which saw them disarm Italian units and take over defensive key points. With the Italian capitulation, the Allies commenced Operation Slapstick on September 9th, which called for British and U.S. warships to ferry the British 1st Airborne Division into the port of Taranto. Meeting no opposition, they landed and occupied the port. On September 9th, Clark's forces began moving towards the beaches of South Salerno, aware of the Allies' approach. German forces on the heights behind the beaches prepared for landings. On the Allied left, the Rangers and commandos came ashore without incident and quickly secured their objectives in the mountains of the Sorrento Peninsula. The right, McCreary's corps encountered fierce German resistance and required naval gunfire support to move inland. Fully occupied on their front, the British were unable to press south to link up with the Americans. Meeting intense fire from elements of the 16th Panzer Division, the 36th Infantry Division initially struggled to gain ground until reserve units were landed. As night fell, the British had achieved an advance inland of between 5 to 7 miles, while the Americans held the plain to the south of the Selle and gained around 5 miles and some areas. Though the Allies had come ashore, German commanders were pleased with the initial defense and began shifting units towards the beachhead. Sergeant Logan played a huge role, and specifically on June 1, 1944, Sergeant Logan captured 15 Germans and killed 25 in an assault on a German unit trying to escape Velletri during the short and chaotic battle. Logan was injured by shrapnel from artillery shells while he carried a wounded soldier to a medical aid station. This effort earned Logan the Purple Heart and a Distinguished Service Cross. Over the course of the war, he earned the following decorations and awards: Combat Infantryman Badge, Medal of Honor, Distinguished Service Cross, Bronze Star Medal, Purple Heart, Army Good Conduct Medal, American Defense Service Medal, American Campaign Medal, European African Middle Eastern Campaign Medal with a Bronze Campaign Star, World War II Victory Medal, Texas Legislative Medal of Honor, an Army Presidential Unit Citation. Although the Italian government had surrendered to the Allies just hours earlier, occupied Italy was rife with German tanks, machine guns, and troops. Allied units hoped to eliminate nearby outposts and then seize the port near Naples. Once Naples was secure, the 36th Infantry Division, 2 divisions of the British 5th Army, and Allied commandos would join the British 8th Army and drive for Rome. During the course of the invasion of Italy, Allied forces sustained 2,009 dead, 7,050 wounded, and 3,501 missing, while German casualties numbered around 3,500. Having secured the breachhead, the forces turned north and began attacking towards Naples on September 19th, arriving from Calabria. The 8th Army fell into line on the east side of the Apennine Mountains and pushed up the east coast. On October 1st, Allied forces entered Naples as von Weitenhoff's men withdrew into the positions of the Volturno Line. Driving north, the Allies broke through the position, and the Germans fought several rearguard actions as they retreated. Pursuing Allied forces made their way north until encountering the Winter Line in mid-November. Blocked by these defenses, the Allies finally broke through on May 1944 following the Battle of Anzio and Monte Cassino. Full citation. Sergeant Logan's official Medal of Honor citation reads as follows: "For conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at risk of life above and beyond the call of duty in action involving actual conflict on the 9th of September 1943 in the vicinity of Salerno, Italy. As a rifleman of the Infantry Company, Sergeant Logan landed with the first wave of the assault echelon on the beaches of the Gulf of Salerno, and after his company had advanced 800 yards inland and taken positions along the forward bank of an irrigation canal, the enemy began a serious counterattack from positions along the rock wall which ran parallel to the canal about 200 yards further inland. Voluntarily exposing himself to the fire of the machine guns located along the rock wall, which sprayed the ground so close to him that he was spattered with dirt and rock splinters from the impact of the bullets. Sergeant Logan killed the first 3 Germans as they came through the gap in the wall. He then attacked the machine gun. As he dashed across the 200 yards of exposed terrain, a withering stream of fire followed his advance. Reaching the wall, he crawled along the base, within easy reach of the enemy crouched along the opposite side, until he reached the gun. Jumping up, he shot 2 gunners down, hurdled the wall, and seized the gun. Swinging it around, he immediately opened fire on the enemy with the remaining ammunition, raking their flight and inflicting further casualties on them as they fled. After smashing the machine gun over the rocks, Sergeant Logan captured an enemy officer and private who were attempting to sneak away. Later in the morning, Sergeant Logan went after a sniper hidden in a house about 150 yards from the company. Again, the intrepid sergeant ran the gauntlet of fire to reach his objective. Shooting the lock off the door, Sergeant Logan kicked it in and shot the sniper who had just reached the bottom of the stairs. The conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity which characterized Sergeant Logan's exploits proved a constant inspiration to all men in his company and aided materially in ensuring the success of the beachhead of Salerno. In closing, he was awarded this on June 6, 1944, near Naples, Italy, presented by Lieutenant General Alexander M. Patch II. Logan was discharged from the Army in May 1945. After being discharged, he spent 3 decades working for Exxon. On Memorial Day, 1997, in a ceremony at the Texas Capitol in Austin, he received the state's first Legislative Medal of Honor for bravery in combat. Quote, "You remember the people who died close to you." End quote. He died on October 9th, 1999, at the age of 78. He is survived by a son, Paul, of Dallas, 4 grandchildren, and a great-granddaughter.